Welcome to Vibration Architect, where ancient wisdom meets modern transformation. Have you ever wondered why you keep attracting situations and people you don't want in your life? The answer lies in understanding your vibrational frequency, the energetic signature you're constantly emitting into the universe. Today, we're diving deep into the foundational universal laws that govern reality itself, principles that have been understood by masters throughout history but hidden from the masses. When you truly grasp these immutable laws, you'll no longer be a passive victim of circumstances, but a conscious co-creator of your experience. This knowledge changes everything. Hit subscribe and notification bell now to ensure you receive all our metaphysical guides. Your journey to deliberate reality creation begins here. The vibrational self, mastering your energetic frequency. Introduction: everything is vibration. In the vast expanse of the cosmos, amid seemingly infinite diversity, there exists a fundamental truth that binds all creation together. Everything is vibration. From the densest rock to the most subtle thought, from the cells of your physical body to the essence of your consciousness, all exists as energy in motion, vibrating at different frequencies within an interconnected field of intelligence. This understanding is not new. The ancient Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, as below, so above, speaks to this universal principle. It was taught in the mystery schools of Egypt, echoed in the temples of Greece, and preserved in esoteric texts throughout the ages. What has changed is our ability to perceive and measure these vibrational realities through the instruments of modern science, confirming what the masters have always known. The vibrational self represents your unique energetic signature in this cosmic symphony. It is the sum total of your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and physical state, all contributing to the frequency you emit into the universe. This frequency, in accordance with immutable universal laws, determines what you attract and experience in your reality. When you understand these laws, you move from being a passive participant in life to becoming an active, conscious creator. In the chapters that follow, we will explore the full spectrum of vibrational reality, from the manifest physical world to the subtle realms of thought and emotion. You will learn how your mental state generates specific frequencies, how emotions amplify these vibrations, and how your physical body serves as both transmitter and receiver of energy. Most importantly, you will discover practical techniques to deliberately raise your vibration, aligning yourself with the experiences you truly desire. The knowledge contained in these pages is transformative, not merely informative. As you progress through this material, you will begin to perceive the underlying order in what once seemed chaotic, the purpose in what appeared random. You stand at the threshold of a profound shift in consciousness, from one who is subject to external forces to one who wields the power to shape reality through understanding and application of universal law. Let us begin this journey of discovery together as we explore the true nature of your vibrational self. Chapter 1: The Spectrum of Frequency. From dense matter to subtle energy, the universe exists as a vast spectrum of vibration, much like light exists as a spectrum of color. Though your physical senses perceive only a limited band of this spectrum, the totality of existence spans from the densest form of matter to the most refined states of energy and consciousness. To understand your place within this spectrum is to gain profound insight into the nature of reality itself. Consider for a moment the solid chair upon which you may be sitting. To your senses, it appears completely solid, stable, and motionless. Yet modern physics reveals what the ancient Hermeticists proclaimed millennia ago, that this apparent solidity is an illusion. At the atomic level, this solid object consists primarily of empty space, with subatomic particles in constant rapid motion. These particles vibrate at specific frequencies, creating the electromagnetic fields that give the chair its apparent solidity. What you perceive as matter is, in truth, energy vibrating at a rate slow enough to be detected by your physical senses. The ancient Hermetic principle of vibration states, "Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates." This principle, once accessible only to initiates of mystery schools, now forms the cornerstone of quantum physics. Every atom, molecule, and substance, including those that comprise your physical body, exists in a state of constant vibration. The only difference between manifestations of matter, energy, mind, and spirit is the rate of this vibration. Let us examine this spectrum more closely. The physical plane, dense vibration. At the lowest and slowest frequencies exist what we call physical matter, the world of objects and forms perceptible to your five senses. This includes not only all solid objects, but also liquids and gases. Though appearing quite different to your senses, these three states merely represent different vibrational rates of the same fundamental elements. Ice, water, and steam are identical in composition, but differ dramatically in vibrational frequency. Your physical body resides primarily within this band of the spectrum. Its cells, tissues, and organs operate at specific frequencies that, when in harmony, produce what you know as physical health. When disrupted or dissonant, this manifests as disease, literally dis-ease, in the body's vibrational integrity. The energetic plane, intermediate vibration. At slightly higher frequencies exist energies less perceptible to ordinary senses, but measurable by scientific instruments. Electromagnetic radiation, including radio waves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays, and gamma rays, occupies this portion of the spectrum. Though invisible to the naked eye, with the exception of visible light, these energies exert powerful effects on physical matter. The subtle energy systems described by ancient traditions, what Eastern philosophies call chi, prana, or subtle body, also exist within this intermediate range. These energetic templates interpenetrate and inform your physical body, mediating between your consciousness and physical form. The meridian system of acupuncture, the chakra system of yoga, and similar models from various traditions all describe aspects of this energetic anatomy. The mental plane, higher vibration. Ascending further in frequency, we encounter the realm of thought. Each thought you generate possesses its own distinct vibrational signature. Abstract concepts, mathematical principles, and philosophical ideas exist as organized patterns of energy at frequencies beyond the measurement capabilities of current technology. Yet their effects can be observed in brain activity, and more importantly, in the consequences they produce when acted upon. The quality of your thoughts, their clarity, coherence, emotional charge, and alignment with truth determines their vibrational potency. A scattered, confused mind emits weak, chaotic frequencies. A focused, disciplined mind generates powerful, coherent waves that exert far greater influence on the surrounding energetic field. The spiritual plane, highest vibration. At the highest end of the frequency spectrum exist the most refined states of consciousness, what various traditions have termed spirit, pure awareness, or divine mind. These states, characterized by unity, love, joy, and transcendence, vibrate at such elevated rates that they appear to exist beyond the confines of space and time as we commonly understand them. When you experience moments of profound insight, deep compassion, or spiritual connection, you temporarily access these higher frequencies. Such experiences often feel more real than ordinary reality, precisely because they represent a more fundamental level of existence, closer to the primary source from which all lower vibrations derive. The law of correspondence. This vibrational hierarchy illustrates the Hermetic principle of correspondence. As above, so below, as below, so above. The patterns observed in physical reality reflect those operating at higher frequencies, and vice versa. A change introduced at one level of the spectrum necessarily affects all other levels. This is why physical practices like breathwork can alter consciousness, and conversely, why shifts in your mental state directly impact your physical well-being. Understanding this interconnected spectrum reveals why you cannot separate your physical health from your mental state, your emotional patterns from your spiritual development. All exist along a continuum, influencing and being influenced by one another in accordance with universal law. Practical application. Developing vibrational sensitivity. The first step in mastering your vibrational nature is developing greater sensitivity to these different frequencies. Begin by paying closer attention to the subtle energetic qualities of your everyday experience. Notice how different environments affect your energy. Some places feel naturally uplifting, while others seem to drain your vitality. Become aware of how different people influence your vibrational state through their presence alone, independent of their words or actions. Observe how specific thoughts and emotions create immediate sensations in your physical body: tension, relaxation, expansion, or contraction. Practice discerning the quality of information you encounter, not merely its intellectual content, but its energetic signature. Does it feel harmonious or discordant? Does it expand or contract your awareness? As you cultivate this sensitivity, you will naturally begin making choices that elevate your frequency. This is not merely a matter of comfort or preference, but of aligning yourself with higher orders of reality, bringing your individual vibration into harmony with the universal principles that govern all existence. In the chapters that follow, we will explore how your thoughts, emotions, and physical practices directly influence your vibrational frequency, and how you can consciously modulate these elements to transform your lived experience. For now, simply hold this fundamental understanding. Reality is not fixed, but fluid, not separate from you, but continuous with your own vibrational nature. You exist within an intelligent, responsive universe that mirrors back to you the frequencies you emit. Chapter 2. Thoughts as Vibrations. How your mental state emits frequency. Having established that all existence operates as a spectrum of vibrational frequencies, we now turn our attention to a realm of particular significance in your conscious evolution: the domain of thought. Your mind is not merely a passive observer of reality, but a powerful broadcasting station, continuously emitting vibrational signals that interact with and influence the universal field. The ancient Hermetic principle of mentalism states, "The all is mind, the universe is mental." This profound axiom suggests that the fundamental nature of reality is mental, not in the limited sense of human cognition, but as universal mind or consciousness, from which all manifestation emerges. Your individual mind operates as a specialized expression of this universal mind. Connected to it as a drop of water is connected to the ocean. The nature of thought energy. Each thought you entertain, whether fleeting or sustained, generates a specific energetic pattern. This is not merely metaphorical, but literal. Modern neuroscience confirms that thinking produces measurable electromagnetic activity in the brain. However, the influence of thought extends far beyond the confines of your skull. The energetic signature of your thinking radiates outward, interacting with the surrounding field in accordance with precise universal laws. Thoughts differ not only in their content, but in their vibrational quality. Consider these distinct categories. Instinctive thoughts, the most basic, automatic mental patterns linked to survival, bodily functions, and primitive emotional responses. These operate at lower frequencies, often below the threshold of conscious awareness. Analytical thoughts, rational, logical thinking used for problem-solving, organization, and planning. These vibrate at intermediate frequencies and require more conscious energy to sustain. Creative thoughts, imaginative, innovative ideas that synthesize new possibilities. These operate at higher frequencies, often accompanied by feelings of inspiration or insight. Transcendent thoughts, universal principles, spiritual awareness, and states of unity consciousness. These vibrate at the highest frequencies available to human experience, often described as illumination or enlightenment. Your mental state at any given moment represents a composite frequency of all these levels of thought, with certain patterns typically dominating your awareness based on habit and development. Most individuals operate primarily within the instinctive and analytical bands, occasionally accessing creative states and rarely experiencing transcendent awareness. Thought cohesion and power. The power of thought is determined not only by its frequency, but by its coherence, the degree to which it maintains a consistent, focused pattern. Scattered, contradictory thinking produces weak, chaotic signals easily dissipated in the universal field. Concentrated, consistent thought generates powerful, coherent waves that maintain their integrity across time and space. Consider the difference between a candle flame and a laser beam. Both emit light energy, but the laser focuses that energy into a coherent beam capable of cutting through solid material. Similarly, an undisciplined mind flickers like a candle, while a trained mind can focus thought energy with laser-like precision and effectiveness. This principle explains why casual wishes often fail to materialize, while deeply held convictions invariably shape your experience. It is not merely the content of a thought that determines its manifesting power, but its clarity, emotional charge, and the degree to which it is consistently maintained without contradiction. The electromagnetic nature of thought. Your thoughts possess both electrical and magnetic properties. The electrical aspect corresponds to the active, projective quality of thinking, your ability to initiate and direct mental energy. The magnetic aspect represents the attractive, receptive quality, your capacity to draw experiences that resonate with your dominant thought patterns. This electromagnetic nature follows the Hermetic principle of polarity. Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Within each thought exists both the power to project and the power to attract, working in dynamic balance to create your experienced reality. When you think about what you want, you activate the electrical, projective quality. When you believe you have received it, you engage the magnetic, receptive quality. Both are essential to effective manifestation. Many individuals focus exclusively on projecting desires without cultivating the receptive state of already having received, creating an imbalanced thought form that cannot fully materialize. Thought, atmosphere, and mental climate. Just as the Earth is surrounded by an atmosphere of air, you move through life surrounded by an atmosphere of thought. This personal thought atmosphere, sometimes called the mental aura, constitutes your vibrational signature at the mental level. It is composed of your habitual thought patterns, your core beliefs about yourself and reality, your dominant emotional states, your level of mental discipline and focus, your degree of alignment with higher principles. This mental atmosphere acts as a filter through which you perceive and interpret events, as well as a magnetic field that attracts corresponding experiences. Two individuals can encounter identical external circumstances, yet have radically different experiences based entirely on their mental atmospheres. Moreover, this thought atmosphere is not static, but dynamic, constantly being modified by new thoughts, influences, and choices. With each passing day, you either reinforce your current mental climate or shift it toward a new vibrational state. This process typically happens unconsciously, but can be brought under conscious direction through disciplined awareness. Collective thought fields. Individual thought atmospheres exist within larger collective thought fields, shared beliefs, assumptions, and mental patterns that characterize families, communities, cultures, and humanity as a whole. These collective fields exert powerful influence on individual thinking, often below the threshold of awareness. Many of your most fundamental assumptions about reality are not personal creations, but absorptions from these collective fields. Unconsciously accepted limitations, expectations about what is possible or impossible, definitions of success, and frameworks for understanding experience. All these are largely derived from collective thought patterns you have internalized. Elevating your personal vibration often requires consciously examining and transcending these collective thought limitations. This explains why transformative insights frequently arrive as recognitions that what everyone knows to be true is, in fact, merely a collectively agreed upon limitation. Practical application. Mental transmutation. The Hermetic principle of mental transmutation provides the key to consciously working with thought vibrations. The all is mind, the universe is mental. Ray, this principle, sometimes called the Great Hermetic Paradox, reveals that while all manifestation occurs through mind, mind itself can be consciously directed to transform that manifestation, to begin harmonizing your thought vibrations with your desired reality. 1. Practice thought awareness. Develop the habit of observing your thoughts without immediate identification or judgment. This creates the necessary distance to choose thoughts rather than being unconsciously driven by them. Several times throughout your day, pause and ask, "What am I thinking right now? What frequency does this thought represent?" 2. Recognize thought patterns. Identify recurring themes and habitual thought sequences. These established neural pathways create your default vibrational signature. Many operate below conscious awareness until deliberately examined. Keep a thought journal for several days, noting recurring patterns and their emotional effects. 3. Apply conscious selection. Exercise your inherent capacity to select thoughts independently of external conditions. When you notice a lower frequency thought, consciously replace it with one of higher vibration, not as denial or suppression, but as deliberate choice. Remember that where attention goes, energy flows. 4. Cultivate thought coherence practice, sustaining focused attention on single themes or ideals. Begin with brief periods, 2 to 3 minutes, and gradually extend your capacity for coherent thought. This develops the mental muscle required for powerful vibrational projection. 5. Align with universal principles. Contemplate thoughts that reflect eternal principles rather than temporary conditions. Thoughts aligned with truth, beauty, harmony, and other transcendent qualities naturally vibrate at higher frequencies than those concerned with transient circumstances. Remember that the purpose of mental discipline is not to achieve perfect control of every thought, an impossible and counterproductive goal, but to establish conscious direction of your dominant thought patterns. It is these dominant patterns, consistently held over time, that determine your vibrational signature and consequently the reality you experience. As you develop greater awareness and mastery of your thought vibrations, you naturally begin to question the boundary between what appears as internal thought and external reality. This boundary, while convenient for practical purposes, ultimately reveals itself as permeable and largely arbitrary, a conclusion reached by both ancient wisdom traditions and cutting-edge physics. In the next chapter, we will explore how emotions serve as powerful amplifiers of thought vibrations, either accelerating or impeding your conscious creation through their energetic signatures. For now, begin the practice of observing your thought patterns with fresh awareness, recognizing them as vibrations that extend far beyond the confines of your physical form. Chapter 3. Emotions, the energetic amplifier, the power of feelings in shaping vibration. Having explored how thoughts generate specific vibrational frequencies, we now turn our attention to the energetic dimension that gives those thoughts their manifesting power. Emotion. If thought provides the directional content of your vibrational signature, emotion supplies the amplifying force. Together, they create the energetic transmission that shapes your experienced reality. The vibrational nature of emotion. Emotions are energy in motion. The word itself derives from the Latin emovere, meaning to move through. Unlike thoughts, which can remain abstract and conceptual, emotions create immediate physiological changes in your body. They alter your heart rate, breathing pattern, hormonal balance, and nervous system activation, producing measurable energetic signatures that radiate from your being. This somatic component gives emotions their remarkable power as vibrational amplifiers. While a thought alone creates a specific frequency pattern, the addition of emotional charge exponentially increases its potency and reach in the universal field. A thought imbued with strong emotion travels further, lasts longer, and attracts corresponding manifestations with significantly greater speed and precision. The ancient Hermetic teachings recognized this principle, though they use different terminology. The principle of cause and effect acknowledges that nothing happens by chance but by law, with emotional energy serving as a primary causal force in human experience. Similarly, the principle of gender recognizes the generative power that occurs when mental conception, masculine, combines with emotional nurturing, feminine, to create manifestation. The emotional spectrum and its vibrational signatures, just as thoughts exist across a frequency spectrum, Emotions vibrate at different rates, from the densest, most contracted states to the most expanded and refined. These frequencies can be broadly mapped as follows. Lower vibrational emotions, shame. The lowest frequency, characterized by energetic contraction, dissociation, and a desire to disappear. Guilt, slightly higher than shame, focused on having done wrong rather than being wrong. Fear, constricting energy that prepares the body for fight or flight response. Anger, more energetically expansive than fear, but still creates significant dissonance. Frustration, blocked energy seeking expression. Creating, internal turbulence. Worry, circular energy pattern that depletes vitality without productive movement. Mid-range vibrational emotions. Contentment, stable, neutral energy, neither expanding nor contracting. Hopefulness, forward-moving energy with moderate expansion. Satisfaction, balanced energy reflecting alignment between desire and experience. Interest, engaging energy that creates focused attention and draw enthusiasm. Activating energy that stimulates creativity and motivation. Higher vibrational emotions. Joy, expansive, uplifting energy that creates buoyancy in your field. Gratitude, opening, receptive energy that creates harmonic resonance. Love, powerful, radiating energy that transcends personal boundaries. Compassion, encompassing energy that creates connection and healing bliss. Transcendent energy that aligns with universal consciousness. These emotional frequencies interact directly with your thought vibrations, either dampening or amplifying their manifestation power. A brilliant idea accompanied by fear or doubt emits a conflicted signal that produces delayed, distorted, or diminished results. The same idea fueled by enthusiasm or joy creates a coherent vibrational pattern that manifests with remarkable efficiency. Emotional resonance and the law of attraction. The law of attraction, widely popularized in recent decades, represents a partial understanding of the more comprehensive Hermetic principles. It essentially states that like attracts like on an energetic level. Your emotional state creates a resonant field that draws experiences of matching frequency into your reality. This occurs through quantum resonance rather than magical thinking. Your emotional vibrations interact with the field of potential, increasing the probability of events that match your dominant frequency. This is why sudden emotional shifts are often followed by dramatic changes in external circumstances. Not because the world has changed, but because your resonant frequency now attracts a different slice of potential experience. Most importantly, this attraction operates based on the feeling tone itself, not the objects or situations you believe will create those feelings. If you pursue financial abundance but associate it with emotions of struggle, unworthiness, or anxiety, you will attract experiences that match those emotional frequencies rather than the abundance you consciously desire. The universe responds to your emotional broadcast, not your mental wish list. Emotional patterns and vibrational consistency. Just as you maintain habitual thought patterns, you develop characteristic emotional signatures through repetition and reinforcement. These patterns become so familiar that they often feel like your identity rather than temporary energetic states. Someone might describe themselves as an anxious person or a passionate person, mistaking a habitual emotional frequency for an inherent quality of being. These emotional patterns create your baseline vibrational signature. They determine what experiences feel normal or natural to you, regardless of whether they bring fulfillment. This explains why many people remain in situations that others would find intolerable. These conditions resonate with their accustomed emotional frequency, creating a perverse comfort in their familiarity. Changing your vibrational set point, therefore, requires not just temporary emotional shifts, but sustained pattern interruption and replacement. This neurological and energetic rewiring demands consistent practice, often feeling uncomfortable or unnatural during the transition period as your system adjusts to a new baseline. The physics of emotional contagion. Emotions are not contained within your physical body. but radiate outward, affecting the energetic fields of those around you. This emotional contagion has been scientifically documented. One person's emotional state can trigger similar states in others through subtle electromagnetic interactions, mirror neuron activation, and nonverbal cues. The stronger and more coherent your emotional broadcast, the greater its influence on surrounding fields. This explains why certain individuals seem to transform the energy of an entire room simply by entering it. They are not doing anything supernatural, but are emanating a powerful, coherent emotional frequency that entrains the more scattered or weaker fields around them. This principle operates regardless of conscious intention. Many people unconsciously absorb and transmit emotional frequencies without awareness, becoming unwitting conduits for energies that may not serve their highest development. Conscious mastery of your emotional state, therefore, becomes not just a personal practice, but a social responsibility. Emotional intelligence as vibrational mastery. True emotional intelligence extends beyond merely recognizing and naming feelings. It encompasses the ability to accurately identify the specific frequency of your current emotional state, understand the thought patterns generating or sustaining this frequency, recognize the impact of this frequency on your energetic field and manifestations, consciously shift to more beneficial emotional frequencies when appropriate, maintain emotional coherence even amidst challenging external circumstances. This form of intelligence represents advanced vibrational mastery. It acknowledges emotions not as inconvenient disruptions to rational functioning, but as sophisticated, energetic tools for conscious creation. Practical application. Emotional transmutation. The ancient alchemists sought to transform lead into gold through elaborate physical processes. The greater alchemy, however, involves transmuting lower emotional frequencies into higher ones, a process that creates profound shifts in your vibrational signature and consequently your material experience. To begin working with emotional energy as a conscious creator, 1. Develop emotional literacy. Learn to precisely identify your emotional states beyond basic categories like good or bad. Expand your emotional vocabulary and sensitivity to nuance. Notice the specific physical sensations, energy movements, and thought patterns associated with different emotional frequencies. 2. Practice non-identification. Cultivate the witness consciousness that can experience emotions without becoming completely identified with them. This creates the necessary space for conscious choice rather than automatic reaction. Remember, you have emotions, but you are not your emotions. 3. Honor emotional messages. Recognize that all emotions carry valuable information and energy, even those conventionally labeled negative. Fear highlights potential threats requiring attention. Anger identifies boundary violations. Sadness recognizes meaningful loss. Extract the message and valuable energy while releasing the dissonant frequency. 4. Apply emotional transmutation techniques. Conscious breathing. Shifting breath patterns immediately alters emotional states. Physical movement. Different movements disrupt and transform emotional frequencies. Sound. Vocalization, toning, and music rapidly modify emotional vibration. Visualization. Mental imagery creates new neural and energetic pathways. Gratitude. Actively appreciating specific elements shifts frequency upward. 5. Cultivate emotional momentum. Build sequential transitions from lower to higher frequencies rather than attempting quantum leaps. For example, move from despair to anger, a frequency increase, then from anger to determination, from determination to hope, and from hope to enthusiasm. Each step creates momentum for the next. Remember that emotional mastery does not mean suppressing or denying authentic feelings, but developing the capacity to work with their energy consciously. True vibrational power comes from emotional honesty, combined with the sovereignty to direct emotional energy toward your highest intentions. As you practice emotional transmutation, you gradually establish new baseline frequencies that make higher vibrational states increasingly accessible and sustainable. What once required conscious effort eventually becomes your natural energetic signature, attracting corresponding experiences through resonance rather than resistance. In the next chapter, we will explore how your physical body serves as both transmitter and receiver in this vibrational system, and how its condition dramatically impacts your overall frequency. For now, begin observing your emotional states with fresh awareness, recognizing them as powerful amplifiers of your creative capacity rather than inconvenient disruptions to be controlled or suppressed. Chapter 4. The body's resonance. Physical health and its link to vibration. Having explored the mental and emotional dimensions of your vibrational signature, we now turn our attention to its most tangible aspect, your physical body. Far from being merely a dense vehicle for consciousness, your body functions as a sophisticated instrument for transmitting and receiving vibrational information, playing a crucial role in your overall energetic presence. The body, as vibrational instrument, your physical form represents the densest expression of your vibrational field, the point at which energy has slowed to its most compact manifestation. Yet even in this apparently solid state, your body consists entirely of vibrating particles arranged in specific patterns. From the atomic level to the cellular to the systemic, these vibrations create the symphony that is your physical existence. Modern science confirms what ancient traditions have long maintained. Every organ, tissue, and system in your body operates at characteristic frequencies when in a state of health. The heart generates the body's strongest electromagnetic field. The brain produces measurable wave patterns corresponding to different states of consciousness. Even your DNA exhibits specific resonant frequencies that influence cellular function. The Hermetic principle of rhythm applies perfectly to physical form. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. Your body exists in continuous rhythmic motion. The pulse of your heartbeat, the cycle of your breath, the circadian rhythms that govern sleep and wakefulness, the hormonal cycles that regulate countless functions. These interlocking rhythms create your physical vibrational signature. The body-mind-emotion connection. The artificial separation between physical, mental, and emotional aspects of being is exactly that. Artificial. In vibrational reality, these dimensions exist along a continuous spectrum, constantly influencing and modifying one another. The ancient Hermetic teaching that the universe is mental applies equally to physical form, which emerges from and responds to consciousness rather than existing independently from it. Consider these bidirectional relationships. Mind, body. Your thoughts directly influence physical function through the psychoneuroimmunological pathway. Anxiety thoughts trigger stress hormones, inflammatory responses, and immune suppression. Conversely, thoughts of peace and well-being stimulate relaxation responses, balanced hormone production, and enhanced immunity. Body. Mind. Your physical state shapes your cognitive function through biochemical and neurological feedback. Nutrient deficiencies, inflammatory conditions, or hormonal imbalances directly impact thought clarity, memory, and processing speed. Optimal physical health creates the conditions for heightened mental performance. Emotions. Body. Emotional states create immediate physiological changes. Fear constricts blood vessels, accelerates heart rate, and diverts blood flow from digestive organs to muscles. Joy relaxes muscle tension, improves circulation, and enhances digestive function. Chronic emotional states create corresponding physical conditions over time. Body, emotions. Physical conditions generate specific emotional tendencies. Inflammation often manifests as irritability or depression. Hormonal fluctuations trigger emotional volatility. Blood sugar imbalances create anxiety or lethargy. The body's state continually influences emotional capacity and resilience. This interconnected system means that any intervention at one level necessarily affects all others. Physical practices shift mental and emotional states. Emotional transmutation alters physical function. Mental discipline enhances bodily performance. All represent different access points to the unified vibrational field that constitutes your being. The body's vibrational systems. While your entire physical form operates as an integrated vibrational unit, certain systems play particularly important roles in determining your overall frequency. The nervous system. Acting as your body's electrical network, the nervous system transmits information through electrochemical signals that generate measurable electromagnetic fields. The state of your nervous system, whether in sympathetic, fight or flight, or parasympathetic, rest and digest dominance, dramatically influences your vibrational output. The endocrine system, your body's chemical messaging network. The endocrine system releases hormones that act as vibrational modulators, shifting your frequency in specific ways. Stress hormones like cortisol lower your vibration, while bliss chemicals like serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin elevate it. Your hormonal balance significantly impacts your ability to maintain higher frequencies. The cardiovascular system. Your heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in your body, measurable up to several feet away. This field entrains nearby systems to its rhythm in a process called coherence. The heart's rhythmic pattern, whether chaotic or harmonious, establishes a baseline frequency that influences your entire being. The fascia network. The connective tissue that surrounds and interpenetrates all bodily structures, fascia functions as both a mechanical and informational medium. It transmits vibration throughout your body and stores emotional and energetic patterns. Fascial tension or release directly affects your capacity to embody specific frequencies. The microbiome. The trillions of microorganisms residing primarily in your digestive tract communicate constantly with your brain and immune system, influencing mood, cognition, and energy levels. The health and diversity of your microbiome significantly impact your ability to maintain higher vibrational states. Vibrational dissonance and physical disease. From a vibrational perspective, physical disease represents dissonance or incoherence in your body's natural frequencies. When cells, tissues, or systems vibrate out of harmony with their optimal patterns, function deteriorates and symptoms emerge. This dissonance can originate from multiple sources. Energetic stagnation, blocked or stagnant energy in the subtle bodies, eventually manifests as physical congestion or dysfunction. This explains why chronically suppressed emotions often correlate with specific physical conditions. Frequency interference. External energetic influences that disrupt your body's natural rhythms, including electromagnetic pollution, discordant sound, and toxic environmental factors. Nutritional dissonance. Substances that create vibrational patterns incompatible with optimal function, including processed foods, synthetic chemicals, and inflammatory triggers unique to your body. Rhythmic disruption. Patterns that violate your body's natural cycles, such as sleep deprivation, constant stress activation without recovery, or disconnection from natural environmental rhythms. Vibrational memory. Stored trauma or conditioning that maintains outdated physical responses no longer appropriate to present circumstances, but still encoded in cellular and systemic patterns. The path to physical vibrational harmony involves addressing these sources of dissonance while actively cultivating resonant frequencies that support whole system coherence. Physical practices for vibrational elevation. To optimize your body's contribution to your vibrational signature. 1. Rhythmic alignment. Synchronize your body's rhythms with natural cycles through consistent sleep patterns aligned with circadian rhythms, meals timed to support optimal metabolic function, and activity patterns that balance exertion and recovery. This creates the foundation for coherent vibration. 2. Conscious breathing. Your breath directly connects voluntary and involuntary functions, making it a powerful tool for vibrational modulation. Deep, slow breathing activates parasympathetic dominance, lowering stress hormones and creating coherent heart rhythms. Specific breath patterns can rapidly shift your entire energetic state. 3. Movement as vibration. Different forms of movement generate specific vibrational qualities. Flowing movements like Tai Chi or yoga create fluid, harmonious patterns. Rhythmic movements like walking or swimming establish coherent oscillations. Ecstatic or expressive movements release stagnant energy and elevate frequency. Incorporate varied movement types for complete physical resonance. 4. Resonant nutrition. Beyond mere chemical composition, foods carry vibrational qualities based on their source, growth conditions, preparation, and compatibility with your unique system. Focus on fresh, vital foods grown in healthy conditions. Pay attention to how different foods affect your energy, clarity, and emotional state, developing a diet that optimizes your personal resonance. 5. Vibrational hygiene. Minimize exposure to dissonant frequencies from electromagnetic pollution, harsh lighting, invasive noise, and toxic environments. Create spaces that support harmonic resonance through natural materials, coherent sound, appropriate light, and energetic clearing practices. 6. Systemic coherence work practices, specifically designed to create coherent vibration throughout your physical systems, including heart coherence techniques like HeartMath, nervous system regulation exercises, fascial release methods, and microbiome support protocols. 7. Earth connection. Direct physical contact with the Earth's surface, known as grounding or earthing, harmonizes your body's electrical field with the planet's natural frequency of 7.83 Hz, the Schumann resonance. This simple practice demonstrates remarkable effects on inflammation, sleep quality, and overall vibrational coherence. The body as receiver and transmitter. As you refine your body's vibrational quality, you enhance its function as both receiver and transmitter of subtle information. A body with coherent, harmonious vibration can receive with greater clarity, detect subtle intuitive impressions, perceive energetic information from environments and others, and distinguish between resonant and dissonant influences, transmit with greater power, project your conscious intentions with enhanced effectiveness, influence surrounding fields toward greater coherence, and maintain your sovereign frequency even in challenging energetic environments. This receiving and transmitting capacity explains why ancient wisdom traditions placed such emphasis on physical practices alongside mental and spiritual disciplines. The body is not separate from consciousness, but serves as its most tangible expression, the point where invisible vibration becomes visible manifestation. Remember that physical form represents the final stage in the manifestation process, not the first. Changes initiated at the mental and emotional levels will eventually express through the physical, though often with a time delay. Conversely, direct physical practices can sometimes provide the fastest access point for shifting your overall vibration, especially when mental or emotional patterns prove resistant to direct intervention. In the next chapter, we will explore how these three dimensions, mental, emotional, and physical, combine to create your unique energetic signature, the vibrational fingerprint that defines your presence in the universal field. For now, begin to observe your body with fresh awareness, recognizing it not as a limited container of consciousness, but as a sophisticated instrument for conscious vibrational expression. Chapter 5. Your energetic signature. Understanding your dominant frequency. Having explored the mental, emotional, and physical dimensions of vibration individually, we now arrive at a crucial understanding. These elements combine to create your unique energetic signature. This signature, your dominant vibrational frequency, functions as your energetic identity in the universal field, determining what you attract, repel, perceive, and experience in your daily reality. The nature of your energetic signature. Your energetic signature is not a single, fixed tone, but a complex harmonic pattern, like a chord, rather than a single note. It comprises the weighted average of all vibrations emanating from your thoughts, emotions, physical state, beliefs, values, and actions. This composite frequency creates your unique broadcast into the quantum field, establishing the resonant parameters of your experienced reality. The Hermetic principle of vibration states not only that everything vibrates, but that the rate of vibration determines the characteristics of any manifestation. Applied to human experience, this principle reveals why individuals inhabiting the same physical space can have radically different perceptions and attractions. Each person's energetic signature tunes them to a different slice of potential reality. This signature operates much like a radio transmitter, receiver, simultaneously broadcasting your dominant frequency while remaining most receptive to signals of matching frequency. This explains why certain opportunities, people, or circumstances seem magnetically drawn to some individuals while remaining completely invisible to others. Energetic resonance determines both projection and reception. Components of your energetic signature. While infinitely complex in its totality, your energetic signature can be understood through its primary components. Core beliefs. Your fundamental assumptions about reality form the foundation of your signature. These deep programming patterns, many established before conscious memory, create the baseline frequency upon which all other components build. Beliefs about your worthiness, safety, abundance, and possibility establish vibrational boundaries that other components cannot easily override. Habitual thoughts. Your recurring thought patterns create consistent waveforms in your signature. These include not just conscious thoughts, but the subconscious mental loops that run continuously below awareness. The ratio of creative to destructive, expansive to contractive, and present to past future-focused thinking significantly influences your overall frequency. Emotional set point. Your characteristic emotional range establishes the amplification pattern of your signature. This includes both your dominant emotional states and your typical range of emotional movement. Some signatures contain primarily low-frequency emotions with occasional peaks. Others maintain mid-range consistency, while some access higher frequencies regularly. Physical condition. Your body's vibrational state provides the grounding element of your signature. This encompasses overall health, energy levels, coherence between systems, and the presence or absence of dissonant patterns. The body often serves as a stabilizing factor, either anchoring higher frequencies or limiting their sustainability depending on its condition. Value orientation. The qualities you most deeply value create particular resonant patterns in your signature. Values aligned with universal principles, love, truth, beauty, harmony, generate higher frequencies than values focused solely on personal gain or competitive advantage. Conscious awareness. Your level of present moment awareness acts as a clarifying or distorting influence on your signature. Greater consciousness creates coherence between components, while unconsciousness allows contradictory frequencies to create interference patterns that weaken the overall broadcast. Assessing your current energetic signature. Understanding your dominant frequency requires honest self-observation across multiple dimensions. Consider these revealing indicators. Your life circumstances. External conditions provide the most objective reflection of your energetic signature. Examine the quality of your relationships, work environment, financial situation, health, and home. These manifestations directly mirror your dominant frequency through the law of correspondence. Your recurring challenges. Persistent problems that appear in different forms throughout your life indicate specific frequency patterns seeking resolution. These are not random misfortunes, but precise reflections of dissonant aspects in your signature. Your automatic reactions, your instinctive responses to unexpected events before conscious intervention, reveal your baseline frequency. These unfiltered reactions show what vibrations dominate when conscious control is temporarily suspended. Others' responses to you. How people instinctively react to your presence provides valuable feedback about your energetic broadcast. Notice whether people typically open or close in your presence, become energized or depleted, and what qualities they naturally perceive in you. Your natural attractions, the people, environments, and activities you effortlessly attract, reveal matching frequencies in your signature. These attractions operate on resonance rather than conscious preference, often revealing aspects of your signature not yet consciously acknowledged. Your energy fluctuations. The circumstances that reliably raise or lower your frequency indicate which aspects of your signature are most variable versus stable. Track energy levels, emotional states, and mental clarity throughout different activities and environments to identify these patterns. The concept of dominant frequency. Your dominant frequency is not determined by momentary peaks or occasional dips, but by your weighted vibrational average over time. This explains why brief experiences of elevated states, while genuinely transformative in the moment, often fail to create lasting external changes. Your dominant frequency must shift as a whole to attract consistently different experiences. Consider this mathematical analogy. If your energetic signature averages 5.2 on a hypothetical frequency scale, experiencing a state of 9.8 for an hour before returning to your baseline will raise your average only minimally, perhaps to 5.3. This small shift might produce subtle improvements, but not the dramatic transformation you glimpse during the peak state. Sustainable transformation requires gradually raising your baseline through consistent practice, rather than chasing peak experiences alone. As your average frequency increases, experiences that once seemed extraordinary gradually become your normal operating state, while new possibilities previously beyond perception come into range. Vibrational consistency and congruence. The coherence of your energetic signature matters as much as its absolute frequency level. A lower but highly consistent and congruent signature often manifests more effectively than a higher but fragmented one. This explains why some individuals with seemingly simple vibrations create remarkably consistent results, while others with occasional brilliance struggle with manifestation. Congruence occurs when all components of your signature align in harmonic relationship. Your thoughts reflect your beliefs, your emotions match your thoughts, your actions align with your emotions, and your physical state supports the entire system. This creates a powerful, coherent broadcast that the universal field responds to with corresponding clarity. Incongruence occurs when components conflict, such as positive thoughts contradicted by fearful emotions, or uplifting beliefs undermined by depleting physical habits. These contradictions create interference patterns that weaken your broadcast and produce mixed results at best. The evolution of your energetic signature. Your signature evolves through several distinct stages as you develop greater vibrational mastery. Unconscious broadcasting. Initially, your signature forms and broadcasts without conscious direction. Life experiences seem to happen to you rather than through you, as your signature automatically attracts matching circumstances without your awareness of the mechanism. Conscious recognition. You begin recognizing the correlation between your internal state and external experiences. This awareness creates the possibility of conscious choice rather than automatic reaction, though the patterns themselves remain largely habitual. Intentional modification. You learn to deliberately shift components of your signature through various practices. These shifts initially require significant effort and produce temporary changes before returning to baseline. Baseline elevation. Consistent practice gradually raises your vibrational set point. Frequencies that once required conscious effort become your new normal, while lower frequencies become increasingly uncomfortable and difficult to maintain. Vibrational sovereignty. You develop the capacity to maintain your chosen frequency regardless of external conditions. Rather than being unconsciously affected by surrounding energies, you consciously influence the field around you through your sovereign broadcast. Unified field consciousness. The ultimate evolution transcends the perception of separate internal and external fields altogether. You recognize yourself as an individualized expression of the unified field, with the power to modify reality from within rather than as a separate broadcaster. Practical application. Cultivating your signature. To consciously develop your energetic signature. 1. Conduct a signature assessment document. Your current energetic patterns across all components. Beliefs, thoughts, emotions, physical state, values, and awareness. Be ruthlessly honest about what your life experiences reveal about your dominant frequency, setting aside how you wish to perceive yourself in favor of what results demonstrate. 2. Identify signature dissonance. Locate contradictions between components of your signature. Places where one aspect vibrates at a significantly different frequency than others. These dissonant relationships create interference patterns that weaken your overall broadcast. 3. Establish resonant priorities. Rather than attempting to raise all frequencies simultaneously, identify the components most amenable to conscious elevation. Some individuals find emotional transmutation most accessible. Others experience quicker results through physical practices or thought discipline. Work with your natural strengths while gradually addressing limitations. 4. Create signature coherence. Align the different components of your signature to create harmonic relationships rather than interference. This often involves simplifying rather than complicating, fewer, clearer thoughts, more consistent emotional states, more rhythmic physical patterns. 5. Practice frequency, sustainability. Develop the capacity to maintain elevated frequencies for progressively longer periods. Brief peaks followed by crashes create disruption rather than evolution. Sustainable growth occurs through moderate, consistent elevation that becomes permanently integrated. 6. Establish environmental resonance. Create physical and social environments that support your desired frequency rather than pulling you back to previous patterns. This includes both the literal spaces you inhabit and the energetic fields of those with whom you regularly interact. Remember that your energetic signature represents the culmination of your entire developmental history: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Its evolution requires patience, persistence, and compassion for yourself as you navigate the transformation process. Each small shift creates ripple effects throughout your entire field, gradually reconstructing your experienced reality to match your emerging frequency. In the next chapter, we will explore how your evolving signature interacts with the universal field through the law of resonance, the principle that determines what you attract and repel based on vibrational compatibility. For now, begin the practice of honestly observing your current signature, recognizing that clear seeing must precede effective transformation. Chapter 6. The Law of Resonance. Why like attracts, like on an energetic level. Having established a clear understanding of your energetic signature, we now turn our attention to the universal principle that governs how this signature interacts with the broader field of reality, the law of resonance. This fundamental law explains the mechanism through which like attracts like at every level of existence, from subatomic particles to human relationships to cosmic phenomena. The principle of vibrational resonance. In physics, resonance occurs when one vibrating system causes another system to oscillate with greater amplitude at specific frequencies. This happens when the second system has a natural frequency matching that of the first. Their resonant frequencies align, creating amplification and synchronization. The classic example is a tuning fork. Strike a tuning fork calibrated to the note A, 440 Hz. And any nearby tuning fork also calibrated to A will begin vibrating spontaneously, while tuning forks calibrated to different notes remain silent. The vibration transfers without physical contact, through the medium of air, activating only systems that possess matching frequency. This physical principle extends to all vibrational phenomena, including the frequencies generated by your thoughts, emotions, and physical state. Your energetic signature broadcasts specific frequencies into the universal field, activating and attracting elements with matching vibrations while remaining essentially invisible to non-matching frequencies. The Hermetic principle of correspondence, as above, so below, as below, so above, reveals that this resonance operates consistently across all scales of existence. The same law that causes tuning forks to synchronize governs which experiences, people, opportunities, and circumstances you draw into your life. Resonance versus the law of attraction. The popular concept of the law of attraction represents a simplification of the more comprehensive law of resonance. While the basic premise, that like attracts like, remains accurate, the mechanics are often misunderstood, leading to confusion and inconsistent results. The law of resonance clarifies that attraction operates through vibrational compatibility rather than wishful thinking or visualization alone. You don't attract what you want, You attract what you are vibrationally aligned with. This explains why merely thinking about positive outcomes often fails to produce results. Mental focus without corresponding emotional and physical alignment creates insufficient resonance. Furthermore, resonance operates whether chosen consciously or not. Your full vibrational signature, including unconscious beliefs, suppressed emotions, and habitual thought patterns, creates your resonant field, not just the aspects you prefer to acknowledge. This explains why unwanted experiences persist, despite conscious intentions to the contrary. Some aspect of your signature continues resonating with these experiences. How resonance creates your reality. Your perceived reality emerges through three resonant processes occurring simultaneously. 1. Perceptual resonance. Your energetic signature determines which aspects of the infinite field of potential information you notice and emphasize. Like a radio tuned to a specific frequency band, you perceive only the narrow slice of reality that matches your vibrational range. This is why two people can witness the same event yet have completely different experiences. Each perceives the aspects that resonate with their signature while filtering out non-resonant elements. 2. Manifestational resonance. Your signature attracts external circumstances, events, and opportunities with matching frequencies. This occurs through quantum field effects, increasing the probability of compatible events within your experience while decreasing the likelihood of incompatible ones. This is not magical thinking, but the natural consequence of resonant fields interacting according to established physical principles. 3. Amplificational resonance. Your signature enhances and strengthens whatever it resonates with, while diminishing what it doesn't. This explains why certain patterns in your life tend to intensify over time, unless consciously interrupted. Your continued resonance amplifies these patterns through sustained energetic focus. These processes operate continuously, creating your experienced reality moment by moment. Understanding this mechanism reveals why trying to change external circumstances without shifting your internal frequency produces temporary results at best. The resonant field quickly re-establishes the patterns matching your dominant vibration. The mechanics of attraction and repulsion. Just as certain frequencies naturally attract one another, others naturally repel. This repulsion isn't a failure or punishment, but the natural consequence of vibrational incompatibility. When your signature vibrates at frequencies incompatible with certain experiences, people, or circumstances, these elements naturally move away from your field or fail to manifest in your awareness. This explains several common experiences: opportunity blindness. Possibilities that exist outside your current vibrational range remain invisible to you, not because they don't exist, but because your frequency doesn't allow you to perceive them. This is why expansion of consciousness literally expands what's possible in your reality. It increases the range of frequencies you can perceive and therefore attract. Relationship patterns. You naturally attract individuals whose dominant frequencies match aspects of your own signature. These relationships serve as perfect mirrors, reflecting both conscious and unconscious elements of your vibration. This explains why particular relationship challenges often recur with different partners until the internal frequency is addressed. Success ceilings. Many people experience a consistent upper limit to their success, health, or happiness, a threshold they approach but cannot seem to cross. This ceiling represents the highest frequency sustainable by their current signature. Attempting to exceed this range without first expanding their signature creates instability that automatically triggers regression to their sustainable level. Paradoxical repulsion. Sometimes you consciously desire experiences that nevertheless remain elusive. This occurs when your conscious wishes vibrate at a frequency different from your deeper programming. Your conscious desire for financial abundance, for instance, may be overridden by unconscious beliefs about money that vibrate at an incompatible frequency. Universal resonance in action. Resonance operates through several distinct mechanisms in daily experience. Sympathetic resonance, when similar frequencies naturally amplify one another, as when your joyful state uplifts others around you, or when entering a sacred space automatically elevates your awareness through alignment with the established field. Harmonic resonance. When frequencies in mathematical relationship enhance one another, as in music, where notes in harmonic intervals create pleasing combinations. This explains why certain people, though quite different from you, create a sense of completeness and enhancement in your field. Discordant resonance. When frequencies interact in ways that create dissonance or interference patterns. This appears as energy drain, discomfort, or confusion when encountering significantly misaligned fields. Resonant transmission. When information, energy, or states of consciousness transfer between systems of matching frequency, as in intuitive communication or the unexplained transmission of ideas to multiple people simultaneously. Field entrainment. When stronger, more coherent fields cause less organized fields to synchronize with them. This explains the profound influence of a highly developed individual on surrounding people and environments. Their field literally entrains others to a higher order. Conscious application of the law of resonance. To work deliberately with the law of resonance. 1. Shift focus from having to being, rather than trying to attract what you want. Become the frequency that naturally resonates with your desired experience. This requires identifying the essential vibrational quality of what you seek, not the form, but the essence. For instance, financial abundance at its core vibrates with freedom, security, and generative capacity, rather than specific dollar amounts. 2. Create resonant alignment. Across all levels, ensure your thoughts, emotions, physical state, beliefs, and actions all vibrate coherently with your intention. Misalignment at any level creates interference that weakens resonance. This often requires addressing unconscious contradictions that maintain incompatible frequencies. 3. Utilize resonant triggers. Identify experiences, environments, or practices that naturally elevate your frequency to match your desired state. These triggers create a bridge between your current and desired vibrations, making the transition more accessible. Music, nature, certain relationships, or specific activities often serve this bridging function effectively. 4. Maintain consistent resonant fields. Establish environments that support your desired frequency rather than contradicting it. This includes physical spaces, social circles, media consumption, and the general energetic atmosphere of your daily life. Consistent external fields make maintaining elevated internal frequencies significantly easier. 5. Practice resonant discernment. Develop sensitivity to resonant and dissonant influences in your experience. Learn to distinguish between attractions based on genuine vibrational alignment versus those stemming from wound patterns, cultural conditioning, or compensatory mechanisms. True resonance feels expansive and enlivening rather than compulsive or depleting. 6. Allow resonant dissolution. When elements of your life no longer match your evolving frequency, allow them to naturally dissipate rather than maintaining them through obligation or habit. This creates space for new, more aligned manifestations to emerge. The dissolution of misaligned relationships, activities, or circumstances indicates successful vibrational evolution rather than failure. Resonance and the acceleration of evolution. As your conscious awareness expands, you gain increasing ability to deliberately work with resonance rather than being unconsciously subject to it. This represents a fundamental evolutionary shift, from being an object acted upon by seemingly random forces to becoming a conscious participant in the creative process. The law of resonance reveals that the universe operates not through judgment, punishment, or arbitrary reward, but through perfect vibrational correspondence. Nothing happens to you. Everything happens through you and with you as a co-creative field. This understanding dissolves victimhood and establishes profound responsibility, not as burden, but as empowerment. When you fully comprehend that your experienced reality perfectly mirrors your vibrational signature, you gain the ultimate creative leverage. Each shift in your signature, no matter how subtle, creates corresponding shifts in your manifest experience. This precise correspondence means that nothing is random, nothing is unearned, and nothing is permanently fixed unless your vibration remains unchanged. In the final chapter, we will explore specific techniques for deliberately raising your vibrational frequency, allowing you to systematically expand the range of possibilities available in your experience. For now, begin observing the principle of resonance in action throughout your daily life, noticing the precise correspondence between your internal state and external circumstances, and recognizing this correlation not as coincidence, but as the perfect operation of universal law. Chapter 7. Techniques for raising your vibration. Gratitude, love, joy, sound, nature. Having established a comprehensive understanding of vibrational reality and the law of resonance, we now arrive at the practical application of this knowledge. Specific techniques for deliberately elevating your frequency. These methods represent access points to higher vibrational states, reliable pathways for expanding your energetic capacity and consequently transforming your manifest experience. The science and art of vibrational elevation. Raising your vibration is both a science and an art. The science involves understanding the precise mechanisms through which specific practices affect your energetic field. The art involves finding the unique combination and application of these practices that works most effectively for your particular signature. Each technique we explore creates specific effects on your mental, emotional, and physical frequencies. While all can be beneficial, you'll likely discover that certain approaches provide more direct access to elevated states based on your individual constitution and current vibrational set point. The key is consistent, conscious application rather than sporadic effort. The Hermetic principle of rhythm reminds us that everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. This principle reveals that vibrational fluctuation is natural and inevitable. The goal is not to eliminate all lower frequencies, an impossible task, but to systematically raise your average frequency while developing the capacity to return to higher states more quickly after natural fluctuations. 1. The transformative power of gratitude. Gratitude represents one of the most accessible and immediately effective methods for elevating vibration. As a frequency, gratitude vibrates with appreciation, recognition, and resonant acknowledgement, qualities that naturally align with higher universal principles. The vibrational mechanics of gratitude. When you experience genuine gratitude, your nervous system shifts from sympathetic, stress, to parasympathetic, relaxation dominance. Your heart rhythm becomes more coherent, producing a harmonious electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond your body. Brain chemistry changes as dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin increase while cortisol decreases. These physiological shifts create an immediate vibrational elevation. More significantly, gratitude creates a fundamental shift in perception. By focusing attention on what resonates positively in your experience, you literally tune your perceptual apparatus to higher frequencies. This perceptual shift activates the law of resonance, attracting more experiences that match this elevated frequency. Practices for cultivating gratitude. Basic gratitude. Inventory. Begin each day by identifying 3 to 5 specific elements of your life for which you feel genuine appreciation. The key is specificity. Not just, I'm grateful for my health, but I appreciate how easily my lungs draw breath, or I'm thankful for the steady rhythm of my heart. Specificity creates stronger neural pathways and more coherent emotional resonance. Gratitude. Immersion. Select one ordinary experience daily for complete gratitude focus. For example, when drinking water, fully appreciate its clarity, temperature, the sensation as it moves through your body, the miraculous water cycle that created it, and your body's ability to utilize it. This practice transforms routine experiences into vibrational elevation opportunities. Gratitude. Reframing. When facing challenges, practice identifying elements within the difficulty for which you can feel genuine appreciation. This is not toxic positivity or denial of legitimate concerns, but recognition that every experience contains multiple frequencies. By resonating with the highest available frequency within any situation, you maintain vibrational sovereignty. Gratitude journaling. The written documentation of appreciation creates several amplifying effects. Writing activates different neural networks than thinking, creating stronger encoding. Documentation allows you to witness your own patterns of appreciation, developing over time. Physical writing creates a vibrational record that itself becomes a resonant field. 2. Love. The highest vibrational frequency. If the entire spectrum of human emotion could be mapped by frequency, unconditional love would register at the highest possible vibration accessible to human experience. This is not merely poetic metaphor, but energetic reality, confirmed by measuring the electromagnetic fields generated by individuals in states of deep compassion and unconditional love. The vibrational mechanics of love. When experiencing genuine unconditional love, your heart produces its most coherent rhythmic pattern, creating a powerful, harmonious field that extends far beyond your physical body. This field literally entrains nearby biological systems to its rhythm. Brain activity synchronizes across hemispheres, creating whole brain coherence. The immune system strengthens, cellular regeneration accelerates, and consciousness expands beyond ordinary boundaries. Perhaps most significantly, love creates resonance with the fundamental creative frequency of the universe itself. Ancient traditions and modern mystics alike identify love not as merely an emotion, but as the essential nature of the cosmos, the vibrational foundation from which all manifestation emerges. Practices for cultivating love. Heart coherence. Meditation, developed by the HeartMath Institute. This technique involves focusing attention in the heart region while breathing slowly and deeply, then activating genuine feelings of love or appreciation. This creates measurable coherence in heart rhythms and establishes a foundation for sustained higher frequencies. Practice for 5-10 minutes several times daily, particularly before challenging situations. Loving kindness. Expansion. Begin by feeling genuine love for someone easy to appreciate, a child, pet, or supportive friend. Fully immerse in this feeling, noticing its qualities and sensations. Then gradually expand this exact same quality to include others. First those neutral to you, then those with whom you have minor difficulties, and eventually, with practice, even those with whom you have significant conflicts. Self-compassion. Practice. Direct the quality of loving kindness toward yourself, particularly aspects you typically judge or reject. This is not ego reinforcement, but recognition of your essential nature beyond temporary states or behaviors. Since your relationship with yourself forms the foundation of your vibrational signature, self-directed love creates profound frequency shifts that affect all external relationships. Service, without attachment. Perform acts of generous service without seeking recognition or specific outcomes. This practice dissolves ego boundaries that restrict your frequency, allowing alignment with the universal love vibration that transcends individual identity. 3. Joy, the vibration of expanded possibility. Joy represents a distinct frequency characterized by expansiveness, aliveness, and present moment immersion. Unlike happiness, which often depends on specific external conditions, joy emerges from alignment with your essential nature and can be accessed independently of circumstances. The vibrational mechanics of joy. When experiencing genuine joy, your energetic field expands dramatically. Muscle tension dissolves, circulation improves, and breathing deepens naturally. Brain chemistry shifts as endorphins and anandamide, the bliss molecule, flood your system. Perception broadens, allowing you to notice opportunities and connections previously filtered out of awareness. Joy specifically counteracts the frequency of fear, one of the most limiting vibrations affecting human experience. Where fear contracts, joy expands. Where fear separates, joy connects. Where fear fixates on projected futures, joy anchors in the present moment, where true creative power resides. Practices for cultivating joy. Embodied play. Engage in activities with no purpose beyond the joy of expression itself. Dance freely. Create art without judgment. Play games with full immersion. Or move your body in ways that feel naturally expansive. The absence of utility or external goals allows your authentic joy frequency to emerge without restriction. Joy triggers inventory. Identify and document specific experiences, memories, environments, and activities that reliably trigger your unique joy signature. Create a practical prescription for accessing these triggers regularly rather than waiting for joy to appear spontaneously. Laughter. Practice. Intentional laughter, even beginning as a practice rather than a spontaneous response, creates immediate vibrational shifts through respiratory changes, endorphin release, and muscular relaxation. Laughter yoga, comedy immersion, or simply choosing to laugh at the absurdity of life's challenges provides direct access to higher frequencies. Wonder cultivation. Deliberately nurture your capacity for wonder by exposing yourself to beauty, complexity, and the miraculous aspects of ordinary existence. Observe children who naturally access this frequency and adopt their perspective of fresh discovery in familiar settings. 4. Sound. Vibrational recalibration. Through audible frequency. Sound provides one of the most direct methods for influencing your vibrational state. As mechanical waves moving through air, sound literally entrains your physical systems through sympathetic resonance, while specific tones and harmonics affect your subtle energy bodies in predictable ways. The vibrational mechanics of sound. Your body consists largely of water, making it an excellent conductor of sound waves. When exposed to coherent sound, your tissues, organs, and cellular structures begin vibrating in harmony with these external frequencies. Different parts of your body naturally resonate with specific tones, allowing targeted vibrational adjustment. Beyond physical entrainment, specific sound frequencies correspond to energy centers in your subtle anatomy. This correspondence forms the basis of sound healing traditions worldwide and explains why particular tones, mantras, and harmonic relationships create predictable effects on consciousness and energy flow. Practices for utilizing sound, toning and overtone. Chanting, the creation of sustained vocal tones, particularly when focusing on throat, nasal, and cranial resonance, produces powerful vibrational effects throughout your body. Ancient traditions recognize specific vowel sounds as corresponding to different energy centers. UH, root. O, sacral. OH, solar plexus. AH, heart. I, throat. A, third eye, and E, crown. Experiment with sustaining these sounds while feeling their resonance in different body regions. Harmonic listening. Regular exposure to music with specific harmonic structures creates cumulative effects on your vibrational signature. Ancient Pythagorean tunings, 432 Hz rather than the modern 440 Hz. Solfeggio frequencies, binaural beats, and classical compositions based on the golden ratio provide particularly powerful harmonic entrainment. Create a deliberate sound prescription for different vibrational needs. Sound baths. Immersion in environments saturated with coherent sound waves from Tibetan bowls, crystal singing bowls, gongs, or other resonant instruments creates rapid vibrational recalibration. The three-dimensional nature of these sound fields affects both physical and subtle bodies simultaneously. Primordial sound meditation. The practice of mentally repeating specific mantras or seed syllables creates vibrational patterns that purify and elevate consciousness. These sounds, distinct from ordinary language, operate at the interface between material and subtle dimensions, serving as bridges to higher frequencies. 5. Nature connection. Alignment with original harmony. The natural world exists in a state of inherent vibrational harmony, following patterns and rhythms that reflect universal principles in their purest expression. Deliberate immersion in these natural frequencies provides perhaps the most effortless method for elevating and rebalancing your personal vibration. The vibrational mechanics of nature. Natural environments generate coherent energy fields characterized by fractal harmony, patterns that repeat at different scales, creating extraordinary complexity within perfect order. When you immerse in these environments, your more chaotic human frequencies naturally entrain to this coherent field through the principle of resonance. The Earth itself generates a base frequency of 783 Hz, the Schumann resonance, which has entrained human brain development throughout evolution. Direct physical contact with the Earth's surface literally grounds your electrical system in this fundamental planetary vibration. Similarly, sunlight, moving water, wind, and the subtle electromagnetic fields of plants all create beneficial entrainment effects on your multidimensional energy system. Practices for nature immersion, earthing, grounding, direct skin contact with the Earth's surface, whether soil, sand, or natural bodies of water, for at least 20 minutes daily creates measurable changes in inflammatory markers, heart rate variability, and nervous system regulation. This simple practice provides immediate vibrational recalibration. Forest bathing. The Japanese practice of Shinrin-yoku involves mindful immersion in forest environments, ideally for 2 hours or more. The phytoncides, antimicrobial compounds, released by trees create beneficial physiological effects, while the visual fractal patterns and filtered light frequencies reset cognitive and emotional processes. Elemental communion, deliberate exposure to the 4 classical elements, earth, water, air, and fire, provides comprehensive vibrational balancing. Walk barefoot on soil, immerse in natural water, breathe consciously in open-air environments, and gaze at natural flames or sunlight. Each element corresponds to specific aspects of your energetic anatomy. Circadian rhythm restoration. Align your sleep-wake cycle with natural light patterns by exposing yourself to morning sunlight and reducing artificial light after sunset. This synchronizes your body's many oscillating systems with the Earth's natural rhythm, creating a foundation for higher vibrational access. Additional vibrational elevation techniques. Beyond these primary methods, several other approaches deserve mention for their proven effectiveness. Conscious breathing. Different breath patterns create immediate shifts in nervous system function and energy flow. Practices like coherent breathing, equal inhale and exhale at about 5 to 6 breaths per minute, alternate nostril breathing, and breath retention techniques provide direct access to altered vibrational states. Movement practices. Specific forms of movement create distinct vibrational effects. Spiral and figure 8 movements, as in Tai Chi and Qigong, balance energy distribution. Rhythmic movements synchronize biological oscillators. Meditative movements quiet mental chatter, allowing higher frequencies to emerge. Ecstatic movements release stagnant patterns and activate dormant capacities. Fasting and dietary refinement. Periodic abstention from food, particularly when combined with increased water intake and reduced external stimulation, creates rapid vibrational clearing. Similarly, progressive refinement of diet toward foods with higher inherent vitality, fresh, unprocessed, plant-based, supports sustained elevation of frequency. Sacred geometry, contemplation, regular visual exposure to and meditation upon geometric patterns that reflect universal principles, like the flower of life, Sri Yantra, Fibonacci spirals, and Platonic solids, attunes your consciousness to the mathematical harmony underlying manifest reality, creating your vibrational practice. The most effective approach combines multiple techniques into a personalized practice, aligned with your unique energetic signature. Consider these guidelines for implementation. 1. Begin where you are. Assess your current vibrational baseline honestly, then select practices that provide accessible entry points to slightly higher frequencies. Attempting to jump too far beyond your current range typically creates resistance and regression rather than sustainable growth. 2. Establish vibrational rhythms. Create daily, weekly, and seasonal patterns of practice that work with natural rhythms rather than against them. Morning practices typically access different frequencies than evening practices. Different techniques may resonate more strongly during different seasonal cycles. 3. Combine passive and active approaches. Balance receptive practices, like sound immersion or nature bathing, with generative practices, like toning or loving-kindness meditation. This creates comprehensive development across both your projective and receptive capacities. 4. Maintain practice through transitions. The most crucial time for vibrational practice occurs during life transitions and challenges, precisely when most people abandon their practice. Develop simplified emergency protocols that maintain basic frequency management even during difficult periods. 5. Measure progress. Appropriately evaluate your development, not by constant peak experiences, but by your baseline frequency, how you feel on ordinary days, your recovery speed, how quickly you return to higher states after disruption, your frequency stability, how much external disturbance it takes to shift your state, your vibrational sovereignty, your ability to maintain your frequency in challenging environments. Remember that vibrational elevation represents an ongoing journey rather than a destination. Each shift in frequency reveals new possibilities previously imperceptible, creating an infinite path of expansion. The practices outlined in this chapter provide reliable access points to higher states, but the journey itself unfolds uniquely for each individual according to their particular purpose and path. As you implement these techniques, maintain awareness that you are not adding something foreign to your being, but rather removing the accumulations and contractions that have obscured your natural, higher frequency state. The elevated vibrations you access through these practices represent your authentic nature rather than artificially induced states. You are remembering rather than becoming. The vibrational self. Mastering your energetic frequency. Conclusion. Living consciously as a vibrational being. Throughout this exploration of your vibrational nature, we have journeyed from the fundamental understanding that everything exists as energy in motion to the practical application of this knowledge in daily life. The path we have traveled represents not merely an intellectual exercise, but an invitation to profound transformation. From unconscious reaction to conscious creation. From vibrational victim to energetic master. The universal laws we have examined provide a framework for understanding the ordered, intelligent nature of existence. Far from being arbitrary rules imposed upon us, these principles reveal the inherent structure of reality itself, the consistent patterns through which the universe operates at every level, from the subatomic to the cosmic. Let us revisit these foundational principles. The law of vibration established that nothing is truly solid or static. All existence, whether physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, consists of energy vibrating at different frequencies. Your body, thoughts, emotions, and consciousness all operate as vibrational phenomena following precise universal principles. This fundamental understanding dissolves the illusion of separation between you and your environment, revealing existence as a continuous energetic spectrum. The law of mentalism revealed that reality is fundamentally mental in nature, not merely in the limited sense of human thought, but as universal mind from which all manifestation emerges. Your individual consciousness operates as a specialized expression of this universal mind, giving your thoughts their creative power. As you align your thinking with higher principles, you access increasingly powerful creative capacities. The law of correspondence demonstrated that patterns repeat across different scales of existence. As above, so below. As below, so above. The same principles operating in cosmic phenomena appear in human psychology, physical processes, and social dynamics. This correspondence allows you to understand vast universal processes by observing their reflections in your immediate experience, while also recognizing how your personal vibration influences the greater whole. The law of resonance clarified why like attracts like throughout your experience. Your vibrational signature broadcasts specific frequencies that activate matching patterns in the universal field, while remaining essentially invisible to non-matching frequencies. This resonance creates your perceptual reality, determines what opportunities and relationships you attract, and establishes the parameters of your manifest experience. By consciously refining your signature, you transform what resonates into your life. The law of rhythm acknowledges the natural cycles and fluctuations inherent in all things. Your vibrational journey does not follow a linear progression, but moves through natural periods of expansion and contraction, intensity and integration. By recognizing these rhythms, you can work with them consciously, rather than being unconsciously governed by their ebb and flow, maintaining your center through all natural cycles. The law of cause and effect illuminated the precise relationship between your vibrational output and your experienced reality. Nothing manifests in your life by accident or random chance, but as the perfect consequence of your energetic broadcast, both conscious and unconscious. This understanding eliminates victimhood and establishes profound responsibility for your creative process, not as burden, but as liberation. The law of gender revealed the interplay between projective and receptive forces in the manifestation process. Effective creation requires both the projective power of focused intention and the receptive capacity to allow manifestation without resistance. Balancing these complementary energies in your practice creates the conditions for natural, graceful materialization of your authentic desires. These universal laws operate with perfect precision, regardless of your awareness or belief. They are not philosophical propositions, but fundamental operating principles of existence itself. The difference between conscious and unconscious living lies not in whether these laws affect you, but in whether you understand and deliberately work with them, or remain subject to their operation without comprehension. As you integrate the practices and principles explored in these pages, several transformations naturally unfold. From randomness to order, you begin perceiving the exquisite structure underlying seemingly chaotic experiences. Events no longer appear accidental, but reveal themselves as perfect reflections of vibrational correspondence. This recognition creates profound peace and trust in the intelligent unfoldment of your life, from reaction to creation. Rather than automatically responding to circumstances, you recognize yourself as a primary causal force in your experience. This shift establishes genuine empowerment, not as control over external conditions, but as sovereignty over your vibrational broadcast, the true source of your reality. From fragmentation to wholeness, the artificial divisions between physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects dissolve, revealing your multidimensional nature as an integrated energetic being. This wholeness allows all dimensions of your experience to work in harmonious relationship rather than contradiction. From limitation to possibility. As your vibrational range expands, possibilities previously imperceptible come into your awareness. This evolution continues infinitely, with each elevation in frequency revealing new horizons beyond previous limitations. The boundaries of possibility continuously expand with your vibration, from separation to connection. Perhaps most significantly, you experience yourself not as an isolated entity, but as an individualized expression of the unified field. This recognition dissolves the illusion of separation that creates suffering, establishing authentic relationship with all life as different expressions of the same fundamental essence. Remember that this journey of vibrational mastery unfolds uniquely for each individual. Honor your particular path, challenges, and breakthroughs as the perfect expression of your developmental needs. There is no standard timeline for evolution, no external authority who can validate your progress. The only meaningful measure is your own expanding awareness and the corresponding transformation in your lived experience. The practices provided throughout this book serve as access points to higher frequencies, but the wisdom that truly transforms comes through your direct experience. Theory becomes knowing only when embodied and verified through personal application. Trust your experience while maintaining the humility to continuously refine your understanding as your perception evolves. Finally, recognize that vibrational mastery serves a purpose beyond personal enhancement. As you elevate and refine your frequency, you automatically contribute to the evolution of collective consciousness. Your individual field affects the greater human field through resonance, making your personal development simultaneously a service to the whole. This understanding infuses your practice with meaning beyond self-improvement, connecting your journey to the greater evolutionary movement of life itself. May your path of vibrational awakening bring not only the manifestations you desire, but the profound peace that comes from alignment with your essential nature and the universal principles that govern all existence. The journey has no final destination, but continues infinitely, with each step revealing new dimensions of the extraordinary being you truly are. After exploring these universal laws, I'm curious, which of these principles resonates most deeply with your current life experience? Are you noticing patterns of attraction that now make sense through the lens of your vibrational signature? Share in the comments below how understanding your energetic frequency has illuminated why certain situations or people keep appearing in your reality. This awareness is the first step toward conscious creation. To begin applying this knowledge immediately, focus on just one practice that elevates your vibration consistently. Whether it's a daily gratitude ritual, 5 minutes of heart coherence meditation, or regular immersion in nature, choose the method that feels most accessible and commit to it for at least 21 days. Remember, it's not the intensity, but the consistency that creates lasting shifts in your vibrational set point. Small actions, when aligned with universal law, create profound transformations over time. If you found value in today's exploration of universal laws, please hit the like button and subscribe to Vibration Architect for weekly guidance on conscious reality creation. Activate the notification bell to ensure you don't miss next Monday's video, where we'll dive deep into the power of mind, revealing how your thoughts create electromagnetic fields that literally reshape the physical world around you. This knowledge builds directly on today's foundation and will transform how you use your mental faculty forever.